we're trying to make plays, and you know, the attack turnovers have always been okay. It's the careless turnovers that we can't have when we just blindly just making passes across court or not seeing defenders in our path. So, you know, we have some attack turnovers, which, like I said, is okay, but some of the ones that's just not what I thought we can't have.
So I was saying the other day that those are not the attack ones, the sloppy ones are more dangerous in this building.
Oh, absolutely, because those young guys, they get out and run, and you can't catch them, and then these fans, they feed off of that.
All right, as you can see, the Cavs turning it over at a higher rate overall this series, resulting in more points off turnovers for the Celtics. That's how it works. And Jackie, in this building in particular, when you turn the ball over and the boys in green start racing down the court, what happens?
Well, then the place explodes and you get everybody in the game, and the young fellas feel better because, you know, these young guys have struggled at times to shoot shots, but you know how it is in transition, Stephen. When you get an easy layup, that starts to open up all sorts of stuff for you.
You can't turn the ball over like you do at home on the road, especially against this young team. You don't want to even give them that confidence.
Right.
You played well last 2 games at home. You want to come on this road and kind of, you know, put your foot on their neck early. You don't want to get these young guys confident because they are undefeated at home. You
heard LeBron there talk about the difference between active and passive turnovers. That's a distinction that Ty Lue has been making to them. Felt like of those 18, about half of them were each. The active turnovers where they're trying to make a play, he said they can live with. It's the passive ones that are the problem. As a player, what do you do besides just tell yourself, be more careful with the ball?
Be more aggressive.
Okay.
I think that'll cut back on your turnovers. When you're out there just going through the motions and just making passes because you're not really into the game, you're not in tune to what's going on, you make turnovers like that. But when you're being aggressive, when you're making aggressive mistakes, they come down a little bit, and the coach can deal with those.
Right.
But how about degree of difficulty, too? Sometimes you're trying to make a play that at this point of the game just doesn't make any sense.
Right.
That's, you know, LeBron's turnover totals have been pretty high, and I think that's what happens to him sometimes.
Yes.
And they wonder why he dribbles so much because he's more confident in him making a play than somebody else.
There you go.
Well, that's certainly true. And you can see this as LeBron gets more tired through a game also. So I'm interested to see how, now that we are on an every other day schedule for the first time in this series, that is going to have an effect as well. All right. Also, the home and road records in this series are the thing to talk about. Boston lost 2 in a row in Cleveland, but the Celtics are back at home tonight, Stephen. What do you think is going to be different for them?
Well, we've seen star parent KD, one of the top 3 players in the league right now, get a road win, help his team get a road win in Houston. We've seen James get one in Golden State last night. Him and Chris Paul, they stepped up. I think LeBron is due for a massive game here. I'm not going to say they're going to win because we know how Boston play here, but for some reason, I think LeBron's going to give us one of those classic games and will his team to a win tonight.
But if the Celtics play to form the way they have at home,
they don't have a chance.
LeBron can have that monster game,
and still
the
like
Celtics can still win.
Like game 2.
That's right. And so here's the thing I'm looking at with the Cleveland Cavaliers. They've shot 25% in this building, in this series. That won't get it done.
Right.
So if J.R. Smith can get hot, because J.R. Smith doesn't care about anybody's fans or anybody's crowd. If a guy like him can get hot, then the Celtics have trouble. The biggest thing really with the Celtics is taking care of their own business. If they do that, if they play the way they can play and move the ball and get those young guys involved and get easy baskets, they can win. But they haven't played their game for a while now, and that's partly because of the way the Cavs have done to take Al Horford out of the mix. And when you take Al Horford out of the mix, that old expression, the head of the snake, you have problems if you're Boston getting good shots.
It's not many people I sit up and talk basketball from and learn from while I'm up here. I'm honored to be up here with you, Jackie.
She's a Hall of Famer.
She's sharp.
She is a Hall of Famer, Stephen. Come on.